I'm Megha Sharma. I'm a professor in the Operations Management Group here at IIM Calcutta. I'm one of the program directors for the Strategic Project Management Program. Gone are the days when a project could be called successful if it was done on time and within budget, meeting all these scope requirements. That's in the current dynamic, competitive world, it's a given. However, a project is really successful when it's aligned with the company's strategy, satisfies the stakeholders, and creates a long-term value for the organization. That's why in this program, we focus not just only on the operational aspect of the program. In this program, we not only focus on the operational aspect of project management, we look at the entire portfolio management, wherein we look at project selection, portfolio balance, and strategic alignment. The idea here is to make sure that every project that we undertake adds value to the organization's mission. We also look at the behavioral aspects because while much of the work can be automated, the human behavior is still difficult to be automated. And that's where we look at the behavioral aspect through team building, leadership aspects, as well as stakeholder management. While the primary focus is on the strategic and the behavioral aspects, we also do not assume that everybody understands the operational aspects pretty well. The reason we do not make this assumption is many of the projects, and unfortunately a majority of the projects are still delayed, go over budget. Therefore, we also consider different phases of the project life cycle and expose the participants to the tools and techniques available to do those phases well.
I'm Manju Jaiswall. I'm a professor in the finance and accounting area at IIM Calcutta. I happen to be one of the program directors for the strategic project management program. In today's environment, why traditional project management no longer seems to be enough for senior managers and leaders who are handling projects. So we know that traditional project management usually focuses on some parameters like scope, schedule, cost, quality, so on and so forth. Now, while these remain important parameters, but in today's business environment, which is far more complex and has more challenges, we are dealing with digital transformation, AI adoption, sustainability, geopolitical uncertainties, and we know, right? We currently, if I was in Larsen and Toubro, I know what kind of geopolitical uncertainties are affecting my project deliveries. Moreover, customer expectations have changed and we have rapidly evolving technology. So traditional project management may not be enough. So as a senior leader, we are expected not only to deliver projects efficiently, but also to ensure that projects, they create strategic value and they support long-term organizational goals. So therefore, they need to evaluate as senior leaders investments, manage portfolios of projects, navigate uncertainty, align stakeholder interests, and lead organizational change. Therefore, project management today has evolved from just being an operational discipline where you need to just execute into a strategic leadership quality. So therefore, just traditional project management may not suffice.
In the program, we use a diverse set of pedagogies. We use sessions which are primarily case studies based. On top of that, some part of the session we also spend on focusing on the concepts, which primarily goes through lecture mode. However, it's more interactive. On top of these, we also have simulations and role plays. But one of the major learning components of this program is a Capstone project. The Capstone project runs throughout the duration of the program, and the idea is that participants apply whatever is learned during the program to a project that they are either currently doing or have done in the past. The idea here is to critically evaluate and see what they did right in the projects that they had done in the past or what could have been done better. It also allows participants to validate what they're doing and apply the learnings that they have accumulated over the modules in this program to a real life project. At designated milestones, In the Capstone project, the participant gets feedback from their mentors. At the end of the program, the participants are expected to submit a report which would be evaluated as well as present their findings to their peers.
So one of the biggest challenges that professionals like to face is moving from managing risks and teams to influencing strategy and business outcomes, because now the two should be kind of very seamlessly delving into each other. Now the program, it helps participants make this transition by exposing them to strategic project selection, portfolio management, financial evaluation, risk assessment, leadership, and governance frameworks. Now, you as a participant, you learn to view projects not only as isolated activities, but as strategic investments which drive organizational performance. So as a result, what happens is you develop the ability to ask different questions and difficult questions, not merely how do we execute this project, but why are we doing this project? How does it add value? How does it contribute to my organizational goals? And this is a kind of a very important transition that you as a professional need to make.
In my opinion, peer learning is important for any program targeted at any career level. However, the value that peer learning gives increases as we go further up the career ladder. Why? Because the further up we go, people come from different backgrounds with immense amount of experience. These participants from different industries, different functions, different geographies, when they all come in a program like strategic project management, while listening to peers from diverse background during a case discussion, role play, or in general, helps anybody improve their decision-making process, it's all the more important for project management professionals. Project management professionals, as we all know, have to manage a variety of stakeholders. Knowing where a stakeholder is coming from or may come from, what a stakeholder may support or object to, helps a project manager come up with strategies to deal with it, to make sure that stakeholders are aligned with the project's objective.
So many project management certifications, what they do, they focus primarily on methodologies, tools, processes, and frameworks which are required for project execution and delivery. This strategic project management program does what? It takes a much broader view. It integrates project management with business strategy, finance, leadership, digital transformation, ESG considerations, because sustainability is also important, AI, governance, and organizational change. So rather than preparing participants to become project coordinators, the program prepares them to become strategic project leaders and initiators who can influence business decisions and drive enterprise-wide impact. So that's quite a transition that this program will enable you for.
By the end of this program, we expect participants will be able to manage project portfolio. They will be able to evaluate projects financially as well as look at their strategic alignment. They should be able to see the balance that a project brings to project portfolio. They should also be able to lead impactful teams, manage stakeholders, do risk management, in addition to the typical operational aspects of the project. The true measure of a project success is not whether a project is completed on time, within budget, meeting all the scope requirements, but whether it creates sustainable value for the organization. And that's precisely what this program aims for. Therefore, I look forward to welcoming you all in this program in our class.
Thank you. I look forward to enterprising professionals who are looking forward to growth and development. So I look forward to having you in the program.